So, is gold a good investment? Well, it sort of depends on what you mean by good. And first of all, what's your objective? What's your reason that you want to buy gold now? Is it something that you can buy it at today's price and sell it at a bigger price at some point in time in the future to maybe pay for a vacation or help pay for one of your grandkids' college? Or is it maybe you're concerned that the US dollar becomes worthless at some point in time and then you own gold? Or do you want to own it as a hedge against inflation? Or maybe you're just like the idea of owning gold and keeping it, forever. But my first suggestion is examine your motivation. Why do you want to do this? And then consider, are you actually just buying into the hype right now? Gold is trading at a high value and people say, well, maybe I should own some gold. Well, for the last 40 years, the price of gold, price per ounce, has changed from $760 an ounce to just under $2,000. So on the surface of things, that would seem like a big return. But if you take that $760 per ounce price for gold, January 1980, and index it for inflation, the consumer price index, that would be the equivalent of $2,246 today. So that price of gold that you bought in 1980 will not buy the same amount of groceries today that the cash you spent on that gold would buy in 1980. My name is Fred Wollman. I'm a certified financial planner, fiduciary, and investment advisory representative with Voya Financial Advisors. Now, there's been plenty of bumps in the price of gold over the last 40 years. So again, if we index all these prices to inflation, that $2,200 price in 1980, by 1985 had dropped to $738. Over the next 3 years to 1988, it went up to $981. And then by April of 2001, dropped to $391. And then by August of 2011, was up over $2,000 an ounce. So the price of gold goes up and down all over the place. And remember, all these prices are indexed to inflation. So people ask, why the heck is gold so volatile? Well, there's an article in Slate.com just recently that described gold bugs as promoters of paranoia, panic, and fear. That they're using people's emotions and fear to motivate them to buy gold for probably very selfish reasons. So, do you really make money owning gold over the last 40 years? And is it an inflation hedge? Well, no, and probably not. After factoring in inflation over the last 40 years, the price of gold is actually down 12% over that time frame, or about 0.3% per year. So you really didn't even keep up with inflation. Now, as a contrast, consider that you would put $10,000 into stocks or a mutual fund that invests in stocks with a portfolio that's very, very similar to the S&P 500, since you can't actually buy the S&P 500. But let's say you did that in 2000. Well, the value of those stocks today would now be $75,495. The value of the S&P 500 has gone up by 754% over those 40 years. So before inflation, 8.85% per year. And after you consider in inflation, about 5.5% per year after you back out the inflation. So, do you really want to own gold? Why do you want to own gold? So ask yourself that. Anyway, thank you for listening. My name is Fred Wollman. If you'd like to call me or email me, all the contact information is on my website, www.voya.com. dot FWOLLMAN